Guys, hey, thank you for joining. And I got a very special guest on with me today. I got my buddy Paul. Paul, how you doing, man?
I'm doing super good, Paul. Thank you for having me today.
Man, good to have you on, dude. And really what I want to do is and I said this earlier today, is share good news. Talk about, talk with agents that are out there seeing some success and kind of hear their story a little bit. And then also a practical tip that will help everybody that's listening in, that they can go out and say, hey, man, if I do that, I'm going to be able to go out there and reach new levels. And so that's what I want to kind of dive into real quick, Paul, is to kind of get to know you a little better, because I do love the fact that Family First Life is so diverse. And like for me, when I got started, there was different people that I connected to, different people that I believe were inspirational people to me and also inspired me. And really kind of I maybe had my belief go up, my discouragement go down, just different stuff. When I heard it, I was like, man, this is good. Like, this is health to my flesh. Like, I can go out and do more because of what I'm hearing. And so my job is really, I think, to be able to kind of connect people with people. And I'm excited to have people connect with you today, man. And so kind of talk about, your background a little bit, Paul. What'd you do prior to Family First Life, occupationally? And if you want to get into a little bit, maybe a minute or so of your backstory, and then kind of talk about how you found FFL real quick.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the whole Family First Life in general, for giving us for real the opportunity to work and the opportunity to serve. I really want to appreciate Paul. I appreciate Sean, Mike, and everybody else who had the idea to bring to this universe the Family First Life in terms like this. All right. Previously, I won't really go back for years and years, but I moved to United States. It was in 2019, in May. That's when I was coming back home in Rwanda, where I used to do some small works in construction industry. So when I got here, I couldn't figure out where to start and where to go and what to do, having even a barrier of language, having a barrier of connections and whatever. So I started working. I was in Maine, and I was working in healthcare industry, but I was helping, I was a caregiver, doing a caregiver, working 16 hours shift, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m., 16 hours shift. And I was making $12.50 an hour. So it means to make $1,000, it requires me to do even more than 80 hours a week. So I went there, had no other options for me to survive. Imagine for real, working, I was doing 16 hours a day. And then by 7 days a week, that was almost more than 200 hours I was working a week to make almost 1,500. Wow. That was really crazy.
So Paul, when you said you came to the States in 2019?
Yes, please.
2019. Did you speak English in 2019?
Yeah, I used to speak English, but the accent was really not good. I couldn't even hear or whatever, but I worked hard to improve my my understanding, even my accent, if I may say.
Okay, so you get to the States 2019, get a care job position. The money's not enough working just 40 hours a week to pay the bills. So it
wasn't at all.
Double up. So you say, hey, if I gotta make this thing work, this is the position I have. I'm gonna work twice the amount of hours so that way I have enough to survive. Is that kind of where you were at?
It definitely, absolutely, that was the goal. That was the goal. Being a father of 4 kids. So my son was in high school, my daughter as well. So I had to drive them, drop them at school. Then they should wait for the school bus. And sometime when it was snowing, it was crazy. But getting money for the rent, getting the money for the rest of the bills, making all of them survive, it was crazy. That's why I had to work the 16 hours shift a day. I had no
How do
other
you find Family First Life, Paul?
Renewals. One of my colleague called Claver invited me to a sales conference he was heading in Massachusetts through Joshua. So I head there. It's the first time I met you, and I heard about Family First Life. The same day I decided, I took the class, and trust me, Paul, I did the test within 5 days. I registered, I could sit almost 24 hours, revising the test, doing the quiz. The next day, I went to the test center, I passed the exam, and I said, oh my God, I can now start my life. I can now start the life I'm dreaming, but it makes me for real work hard. I worked hard. Imagine to pass the test within 5 days.
So did you study for the test while you were still working 80 hours
Yes.
a week? Okay. And you still did it in 5 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, dude, the crazy thing is when you're talking about our first meeting, I remember that. And I remember this look you had in your eye, this look you had, Paul, of like just excitement and hope. Like, I just remember looking at you and meeting you, and you had this kind of energy where you were like, I don't know how you felt at the time. I just know how I felt meeting you. I just felt like, man, you kind of almost gave me energy and joy about what we were doing, because you were just like, finally, I've almost found something that will allow me to go out there and provide for my family like I've hoped and wished for. That's just kind of what I got when we first met from you and the energy you had. And so when you say you did that in 5 days, like I'm not like, I guess, shocked, even though that seems like such a massive feat because of the way you held yourself and the enjoyment you had and the expectation you had. And I think that's something that if everybody could go out there and increase your expectation and what you can accomplish here, and almost like have this joy about you for what you're forecasting and what you're going to be able to do, even though your present situation kind of looks sucky. I mean, like, dude, 80 hours a week, caregiving, and then studying for your life insurance exam. That's not something that's like, yes, let's go. I mean, but it was what was ahead. What you had to look forward to is where you kind of held your joy. And I think that's, I could just feel it when we first met. So talk about, like, what are you doing now with Family First Life? So you found the company, got your license in 5 days. What did you issue pay so far for the month of September? You know, you're 3 weeks in. What are you at 3 weeks in for the month?
For the last 3 weeks, my earnings was 27K.
So 27,000 in 3 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yes.
Dude, how do you feel saying that?
Oh man, it's amazing. It's really amazing. I feel so happy. I feel relaxed. I might say I'm stable. I feel like I'm financially stable, but I'm not at the point that I need to sit and say, oh, I'm good, I'm done. It motivates me working more and working hard, more even than preparing the test that I should have to do for 5 days. So this makes me work more, and get to the point others are getting to the point for I'm dreaming the partnership with integrity. Why not? That's really the goal ahead of me. That's the goal that I'm saying almost within the next 12 months coming. I really need to hit this partnership with integrity. So it makes me work.
You're still more hungry. You're not satisfied, but your situation's so much better.
I'm not satisfied. Hungry. I'm not satisfied at all. I'm super hungry because I might say the half of all my incomes, I'm investing it back into the business. Which
you have staff already, hiring leads. And I think that's a thing where when somebody says, no, I want to do so much more, but then you can kind of take a step back and take a look at what does your bank account look like? Say, I want to build a big business, but what does it look like? And for you, Paul, you could easily stack up and have your bank account go up by 20,000 a month easily with off your personal sales. But I love what you said, you're putting back in because there's something bigger. You're looking at the big picture. You want true generational freedom for your family that's going to last long term. And I think that's such a great thing, man. Let me ask you this as we wrap up.
Yeah.
With calling leads and working leads, how has your accent been something that you felt initially would mess you up? And then how did you get past that, if so? And what does it look like booking leads for you?
I discovered something which is really helping me now. It's the hybrid sales, the Zoom. Oh, within the leads, I'm using the mail pro leads. That's what I'm focused using right now, and the mortgage protections one. So setting those leads on hybrid, it makes me feel more comfortable selling rather than exactly because of my accent and whatever, rather than sitting in front of somebody face to face. Actually, I sold like 8 policies last week. I remember we talked about it. And this was almost 5 policies was on Zoom. Because it was fixing it on Zoom, I should have enough time to revise the presentation, the in-home presentation I will need to do, because I don't need to drive to the point. And then I have enough time to prepare myself. I have all the equipment, all the tools that I'm gonna need. It's whatever I'm gonna just project, share the screen, show the clients. And that's a technique which is helping me close quickly most of the businesses.
So you say hybrid is the Zoom sales for you, and that's made it. Okay, I love it, man. Well, hey, I want to get you back on, and we're going to talk about the Zoom sales, and that way everybody can be a part and hear how you're doing these Zoom sales, because I'm interested, man, and you're doing a phenomenal job. I know we kind of introduced that not too long ago, and that's the thing I love about you, Paul. Like, you hear something and you don't just say, well, it sounds good. You take action. You're a man of execution. And I think that that's the difference maker. I mean, it's one thing to kind of hear and one thing to kind of think, but it's where's the execution at? And when you hear something, whether that was getting your license and how fast you executed, or even right now, how fast you've executed on the Zoom sales, it's made a big difference. And now you're seeing the results. And so, man, hey, great job, dude. It's really an honor and a privilege, and I mean this, to be considered a business partner with you. I'm excited to have you on the team, and really excited to see what the future holds, man, because I do believe it's going to be very bright for you and your family, man.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it, Paul. Thank you so much for all your help. Thank you for being on our side. And thanks for making us to be successful.
Well, you're the one making yourself be successful, man. I'm just kind of here trying not to mess it up. But guys, hey, make it a massive week. Be strong, stay steadfast, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.